Welcome to Soapdish. Hi, Teri.
Hey, Mark.
My co-host, Teri Knight, and I. Today, the date is actually January 24th. 24. I still struggle a little bit when I write that, 2024.
I know.
So,
It'll take me 6 months and then I'll go, oh, yeah, that's right.
and back in the day, we all wrote a lot of checks, and, so you'd kind of get used to writing that. Well, shit, I write about 2 checks a year nowadays.
I know. I've had a checkbook it was for years sitting in my desk drawer and I only used it, occasionally. I finally wrote the last one. I don't know what I'm going to do now in case I need it again.
And they're so expensive to
I don't
order.
have that Venmo stuff or whatever.
Oh, I do, Teri.
Oh, man.
I have Venmo
I am
and PayPal.
so behind. Oh, geez, I'm really behind the times.
Oh, well. You'll live.
Watching too much Bold and Beautiful.
Yeah, that's it. Takes up too much of your time. Let's talk bold.
Right.
All right.
Yes.
So Thomas is trying to continue to convince Hope that he's a new man. This after she's kind of still digesting his big news last week that you and I talked about, where he was involved in that car accident in some way or another.
And, she seems to want to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the feeling that I get from her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think she's just tired of the past.
Yeah.
And, and he's been wonderful to her.
Yeah.
As this
Oh,
new and improved Thomas.
Yeah. He
And
is.
she's
He's really
still
good to
wearing
her.
that ring.
Yeah. I do think in his own weird little
Yes.
way, he does care a lot he deeply cares about her. But
Oh, I think so.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Talk
we'll see
more.
where that all goes. I got questions for you coming up on that.
Yes.
All right, so Eric is getting better and came home from the hospital. I think this whole near-death experience he's been recounting is interesting. What do you think about that?
I do too, because, his words say that he's happy, but he still seems like maybe he really wishes they would have just let him go.
It seems that way.
Do you feel that way too?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. I think you're right. He's kind of like struggling with, and I bet people that go through that, I was thinking about that as I was watching it and kind of just noodling on it a little bit. And it seems like that could be actually something that, I feel like they did a little research on this topic, and because I've read a couple books on it over the last several years, and near-death experiences and all that. And it seems like people that actually is an occurrence that occurs where they struggle with coming back to life because it was so glorious. Passing on there, they talk about passing to the other side, but whatever you want to call it. But yeah,
Yes.
interesting.
It is interesting, and he's made various points about how beautiful and loving it is. So it's interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out.
And didn't he? I'm trying to remember how that all went, but didn't he say something about Stephanie? He saw Stephanie, his wife that died. Eric,
Yes.
I thought so.
Oh, yes. Yes. Because Stephanie was the beginning, the end for him. For so many years, he had his dalliances, but he always was with her too, in a way.
Yeah.
I just remember one scene when they were messing around at the cabin.
Yeah.
And
do
they
too.
were older. And it
I
was,
do
and
too.
I remember that scene going, well, damn, good for you.
Wow. Yeah, they were getting busy.
And now he pretends with Donna. Yes.
Oh, you think
That's a weird.
it is weird? There's such a
Yeah.
well. She's older than she looks, though, Teri. But still, there's an age difference there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yes, I agree.
All right, so let's talk about your favorite topic, Dollar Bill, Spencer. So Dollar Bill is romancing Poppy. What'd you think of that scene where she dances at the table at El Giardino?
Honestly, I thought it was kind of lame.
Me too.
I it just it was weird. She didn't. I didn't think she did a very good job. If you were really getting into it, it just seemed. I don't know. I didn't. I thought it was weird. They didn't need to put that scene in there, but I suppose they were trying to recapture the moment. But and I have a thought on something, but we'll get to that later.
Okay. Yeah,
I have a
this
question
storyline
in
is
your
going to be interesting.
Yes, it will.
So Bill, the next scene. So Dollar Bill takes Poppy back to his ocean place where Wyatt had been renting from, or I shouldn't say renting, staying there at Dollar Bill's place. And I don't know what Wyatt's doing. We can talk about that too, but
Yeah.
he's evidently feeling his oats and wants to go do something or try something or whatever. But he rented the place to RJ, Ridge Jr., and RJ the other day wanted to show
Luna.
Luna the place, and so he brings her over there. Well, Dollar Bill about the same time is seducing Poppy in the bedroom of that place, and I thought that was funny. I thought they were going to walk in on Dollar Bill, but they didn't.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they didn't play it that way. I'm kind of glad they did it the way they did it.
That would have been
Just-
gross, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that's,
weird.
That's your mom. That's icky. You know, it's just weird. And maybe her dad. Anyway, but I do think that it was an odd situation. But I had an observation that Bill and Poppy together is okay. RJ and Luna together, now that you could wrap your head around in terms of the way they were kissing, and the scenes were actually more believable with RJ and Luna than they were with Bill and Poppy. What did you think?
Yeah, I would agree with that. It does seem a little bit uncomfortable right now. I can't, yeah, I would agree with
Awkward.
that. Yeah. Awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, and it turns out that, so they get, Poppy and Bill get redressed, and then they must sneak out a window or out a back door or something, and then they come in the front door, right?
Yeah, there's actually a door
Is
out
there?
of the bedroom. Yeah, because I was thinking, what, are they going to climb through the window?
Well, that's
and
what
then
I
here's
thought.
the door. And
Well, that's
he
weird.
just opened the door. Yeah, I don't know why, but because there's one not too far away. So anyway, it's
All right.
interesting
So
the way
that was kind of that scene, and then it kind of breaks up after that. But
yeah.
all right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Lee.
Yes.
You know, I liked Lee in this show. I have liked Lee. I don't like her as nasty. I don't know. So she's going after Poppy and Luna, and she's still kind of reading them the riot act. Well, today
I'm putting you on notice.
I'm putting you on notice. Yeah. Well, okay, you know.
Whatever.
But anyway, so she basically found out now that Dollar Bill is seeing Poppy, and she's pissed. She thinks that Poppy's just being the gold digger, and Poppy kind of explains, I think, that there was a history there, and that they've just kind of, found each other again. But then she finds out, I think she asked the right questions and realized that she had slept with Bill.
Yes.
And then she was really pissed.
Well, the thing is, you're adults. What do you care?
Well,
Lee?
it's funny, Terry, that you say that because when I'm watching this scene, I'm like, I'm actually I'm not shouting. I'm saying to the television, I'm like, what the hell
Yes.
do you care? And I find myself, I'm like,
Yes.
Mark,
It's a
remember, it's a
TV show.
soap opera.
I know. I know, but I'll do that too. It's like, you bitch.
Yeah. What
What
do
is
you
it?
care?
Why do you Yeah, what difference does it make? Bringing shame on the family. Really? I didn't know that that was shameful with two consenting adults. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
they
I'm
are
kind of
older, I
tired
guess.
of that storyline because it's like, is there
I
something
am.
more? I mean, what the hell?
There's got to be something more. There has to be something else going on.
It seems like
But
it.
the sad part is they're making Lee into this very one-dimensional
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
And I think that part's sad because
Yeah.
she's definitely got a lot more to offer.
I agree.
We've seen that.
I agree.
But this is just weird. And I do want to
Okay.
ask you a question about Poppy. There have been at least two, maybe three times where she's popped a pill or a mint.
Ah,
What are those special mints?
interesting.
Have you noticed that?
I haven't.
Well, take a look and you'll see that she's got some little bag or whatever, and she'll pull out this little white pill or mint or something. It almost looks like a small mint, and it, and it's weird. There's got to be something with that.
And that's been more
I don't
than
know what
once,
it
you're
is.
saying?
Yes.
I have not. I
Yeah.
haven't noticed that. Well, Miss Detective Terry Knight.
Yes. I learned something from you.
And then I don't even see it.
Yeah. That's okay, buddy. I'll help you out.
I'm retired.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So let's go into super sudsy questions, Terry.
Yes.
First one for you is Thomas in danger of going off the rails?
Yes.
What do you think?
I definitely think he's in danger. People keep pushing buttons and he's
Yeah.
going to go off the rails. And it's I think there's two options. Liam is going to push him off the rails or Xander will. What do you
I can see
think?
that. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with your thoughts and your comments. So the next question for you then is what's going to be the trigger, Terry? Is there something going to trigger this event?
I think the trigger could possibly be when either Liam or Xander confront him. Xander might end up being the one to push the buttons the most.
I can see
And that could end up being the end of Xander. And then that'll be all she wrote.
that. Oh. You see him harming or doing something to Xander?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And he can make the excuse that, well, he's gonna take Xander out because that's the last piece
Keeping
to
him.
Hope having and for the sadness for Hope. If Xander disappears, then she doesn't have then it's not that reminder all the
Right.
time. So he
Right.
could frame it that, I'm just helping Hope.
Well, not
I
only
don't
that,
know.
but
That just popped into my head. But
I think you're right. And I think Xander, he just kind of popped into town, so Thomas can easily write it off. Well, he must have left town, right?
exactly.
He
Yes.
doesn't have roots there. I mean, he just kind of showed up. So,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I like that. I think
And-
you're right. I hadn't thought of that, but I could see that happening. Absolutely. Very sudsy, Terry.
Thank you. Trying.
So what's going on with Wyatt? That's the next question. What's up with Wyatt? Do you have thoughts on what they're doing with him, or is it just
I don't
me
get
neither?
it. They're not giving us anything.
Right.
So I don't know. That is a complete mystery to me, unless that Wyatt just wants off the show, the actor. I don't know. What do you think? Do you have any?
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat you are. I'm kind of dumbfounded because he hasn't been on the show much, so I didn't think there was any, it's just he's not part of the storyline, which is true with a lot of those
No.
actors and actresses. But all of a sudden now they're saying, they're kind of like you said, they're kind of making it look like, are we writing him off, or what's going on with that? I will tell you, Terry, that
Oh,
he is
yes.
on. I've seen him on a couple of Hallmark Christmas movies. FYI.
Oh, okay. Maybe
So
he's
I
gonna hit the
I
big
do
time.
think he has another. I mean, he's got other things that are in his world in terms of acting. So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting.
Well,
Yeah,
that's good. I
yeah.
think he's
I
done a
like him
good
on the
job.
show.
I
Actually,
don't know if he's. Yes, I don't. I think that they haven't given him
no,
enough to do.
I
So
agree.
maybe he's just decided, yeah, I'm kind of done
Yeah, could be.
for a while.
All right, next question. So I think we know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Is
Yes.
Dollar Bill the father of Luna? And how is that?
Yeah.
If you say yes, how is that going to come out?
I definitely think yes, he's the father. Um, with the confrontation that Lee is doing with Poppy, I am wondering if Lee will, or if Poppy will get to the point and tell Lee and say, you know what? He's Luna's dad.
I can totally see that.
And if
That's
I
good.
wanted to be a gold digger, I would have done it a long time ago.
Right. I would have found
So
Bill, but back then,
yes,
when I had
absolutely.
the
Why
baby.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Well, how about you? What do you think?
I I hadn't thought of Poppy telling him, but I think that's brilliant. That would probably be the most logical way that it would come out.
Hmm.
Or I can here's okay. I'm gonna take it a step further, Terry. I think you're right. I think that's how it's gonna happen. So what's gonna happen is Lee is gonna keep pushing Poppy's buttons. Eventually she's just gonna get angry and say, just leave it alone because Dollar Bill's the father of Luna. And it's gonna slip out in anger. And then you're right.
Yes.
Then I can see Lee going right to Dollar Bill and telling him
Yeah.
before Poppy has a chance to do it.
Yes.
I do
Yes.
think she plans to tell him, but I think she's waiting to see where this relationship goes.
Right. I think so too. And I just don't understand the the viciousness of
Yeah,
Lee in
me
this whole
too.
thing.
It's
So I'm
just
curious to see how they're going to play that out.
yeah.
You know, what did she do
I
aside
agree
from
with you. The storyline doesn't really add up. They've
it
got to be.
doesn't.
There's got to be something more they're going to tell us happened here, but I don't know. More sleepless nights at the Taylor household.
Yes, I know.
All right. So that kind of pertains to my last question for you: is will Lee try to smear Poppy to Dollar Bill? I mean,
Absolutely.
badmouth her.
Oh, I don't think there's any question that she will do that.
Yeah.
And the biggest question is really why.
Right.
What what does Lee have to gain
Right.
by this? And that anger, that venomous anger
Yeah.
is just, man,
She's.
it's
You're
hard.
right.
It's
She's
almost getting to the
super.
point where it's hard to watch her.
It is.
She's doing a fantastic
She
acting
is
job,
acting
but it's
very well.
almost like, whew, man, ugh, bad juju there.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Maybe she could use some of Poppy's pills or mints or whatever the hell they
Yeah,
are.
now you got me wondering. I got to look into that. All right.
Yes.
So
All right.
lastly, Terry, any other predictions and or comments that you would like to add?
I don't know. I think there's going to come a point fairly soon when they're going to let Eric go. How that happens, I'm not sure, but I can't see this staying that much longer. I can't see him going back to the office per se, unless it's just to oversee something. And maybe Zende will get him to come into the office or something. I don't know. Maybe Zende will push him over the edge with his venom
Yeah, he's another
toward
one.
RJ.
He,
I don't know.
I struggle with him because well, you and I have talked at length about what a bad actor he is.
Yes.
But, man, yeah, that angry or that
he's
scene when he was trying to take Luna out for dinner and then his confrontation with RJ, I'm like, you are just, there's something about the look on his face. He's such a smug, he's just a smug guy, just
yes,
a jerk.
he is. Yes, very much so.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I'm interested to see what they'll do with it.
Yeah.
But
My feelings wouldn't be hurt if they wrote Xander off.
Xander or Zende
Well, actually both of them.
or both.
But
Yeah,
Zende first, and then
I would
maybe
agree.
Xander. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. We'll see where this all goes.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Terry. We'll be off for a couple weeks because I'm vacationing. So
Yes. Well, you work so hard.
I know. It's just I just work to the bone on this podcast.
Yes. Yes.
I need a
Thank
vacation
you for
from
all you
Soapdish.
do.
All right, Terry. Until we dish again,
Oh, keep it sudsy.
and we're out.
All right.